everybody, it's Lucy's Love here and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are a regular here. Today I have a cluttering and making spaces lived-in tutorial. So what I did for this video is I built a laundry room that is also a art room. Basically the story is that the artist who lives here, she is kind of obsessed with this house that she has, even though I'm just building one room of it, and she doesn't want to move even though she has the money to, and so she just puts her laundry and her art area in the same room because she doesn't want to move out, and she's kind of quirky. She also says that having the laundry running helps her concentrate on her art. So she is kind of like a quirky sim. I haven't created her yet, but I may in the future because I'm kind of in love with this whole concept. And I created this room for a build challenge, which I'll link down below if you want to join in for that. It is a decorating challenge within which you have to build a laundry room, and it's done by Lulu the Cute Sim. I will link her socials down below, so if you want to join in too, you can. And basically what I do first when it comes to making spaces lived in is I decide sort of on the vibe of the room that I want to get, and I put in the basic items. And if I stumble upon something that I also want to have in that's just like a decoration, I put it down as well, and then I kind of play around with placing it later on as I go through the build. So obviously this was going to be a part laundry room, so I just opened laundry day menu. I just searched by pack laundry day, and I thought what could be the good things to put here. And one thing that I encourage you to think about is, obviously you want your build to be usable, but are there any items that you don't really need to be usable that you can use as decor? So for example, this sink that I'm using, it doesn't work when you have too much stuff under it, but I put down the stuff anyways because you don't really need to use the sink in the laundry room. It's just basically for the purpose of how it looks. So I did it even though it doesn't properly work that way. Second, I put down the little wash tub, and I put it behind some plants and things like that. And the wash tub obviously doesn't work when it's in the corner there, but I don't have it there for the functionality of it, I have it there for the appearance. So my tip for that would be, you don't always have to use the items for their design use, and if you have an item that looks good but you can't access it, it's still fine if you just want to use it as a decoration. So you can see that I have changed the curtains now, and that's another one of my tips, is just curtains make the biggest difference in builds. Just add the curtains. We don't have that many to choose from, and quite a few of them are not so pretty, or I don't like them that much. But there are some stable curtains that I use all the time. The seasons curtains, these are really good. I use cats and dogs curtains quite a lot as well, and the movie hangout curtains. That's my top 3 curtains that we have in the game, because they go really well with a lot of things. And then I generally, after I have figured out the positioning of the most important items, try to fill in the biggest blank spots. So if I have a blank space over there on the wall, I'm going to sort of try and figure out what I can add to it that will fill it the easiest. And usually as I go through that, I kind of go changing my mind quite a bit and I just start doing something else because I realize, oh wait, this plant looks good, I want to put it down. And that's what I basically did for quite a while. I just scrolled through the menu, and if I saw something that I liked, I just tried putting it somewhere. And again, if you take this way too technically, in real life, those things probably shake as you wash the laundry, especially on the dry. Cluttered. But again, this is The Sims. It doesn't work like real life, and some things that look great in real life look hideous in The Sims, and vice versa. So try to think about them as 2 separate things. In The Sims, it's very different from how it is in real life. And usually in The Sims, more clutter looks objectively better because it then looks more lived in. And then another thing that I always do is I open up the debug menu. If you don't know how to get into the debug menu, you have to open the cheat console and then type in bb.show hidden objects and bb.show live edit objects, and these two will open up a whole menu of objects that either Sims use while they're performing certain actions or that are found in the world. So I got some cleaners from that, and I got some spray bottles. The Sims may be using them, or I think like the butler may be using some of them as well, and things like that. So definitely that's a good idea to add some more clutter to your builds that looks more natural. So it's not just like plants and decorations, but it's actual like things you would generally use, even though you like can't use them in The Sims. And I added a little rubber duck on the sink because I thought that was kind of adorable. And then again, I'm adding the clutter under the sink. There's like the little crates from base game, and I added like the debug thing that you use to clean drains. What is it called? In Czech we call it the bell, but I don't know what it's called like in English. And then I moved on to cluttering up this cats and dogs. What is it? It's like a thing that you would put in your entryway, like a shelf unit. And I feel like in a lot of more recent packs, we do get cluttered up shelves quite more than we got before. So this one has to be cluttered up quite a bit for it to look natural. And you can see that I actually added a debug box, which is, I think it is from City Living. And it's just got a plenty of like moving stuff in it, you know, so like imagine your sim is moving, so they just bring this box of items, and I thought that looked quite quirky and nice, so I added that. By the way guys, if you are completely new to building in The Sims or cluttering up, or you're just getting into it, and you're wondering how am I raising the objects up, I'm doing that with the 9 key, and the 0 key lowers it down. And if you are ever interested in making the objects smaller or bigger, which I often do as well, I do that with the square bracket keys. And that really helps you out clutter out spaces that are usually not accessible in The Sims, and you do not have spots for clutter on them. And yeah, that's what I did for this shelf. And I also like using the different statuettes you can create on the woodworking table, because they're just like a different kind of decor that you don't see as much in the game. They just seem really cute to me, and they fill up the space really nicely. And again, one thing that I add to so many of my builds that makes it look so lived in is books. I just add books on the tables, fills the space nicely, and of course you would have some books lying around. I also added an apple and a mug to this little side table, because I thought, you know, maybe the artist was having like a snack there, even though the apple is not eaten yet, but you know, maybe she brought it so that she can have a snack as she is painting or something like that. And now I am moving on to basically cluttering up the painting area itself. Also, another good tip for cluttering up spaces is do not get discouraged if it's taken a while to pick out the right thing. Make sure that you're really happy with how it turns out, and take the time. I know it's hard not to be impatient sometimes with The Sims, but it really is worth it. Like, I spent about an hour and 15 minutes on just this one room, but I really like how it turned out, so I don't mind spending that extra time on it. And I am using those jungle adventure baskets quite a bit. I don't know if it's just me, but they just seem like the perfect decor that you can use to spice up other decor. So like I use them as like pots for plants, or like sort of like under pots kind of things, or I use them to add some clutter to them. So I will maybe add like a spray bottle and a tissue box, or like the sunscreen that comes in Island Living, something like that. It just seems so realistic to me, because I do keep little knickknacks like that in baskets as well. So I imagine my Sims would probably do the same. And last thing that I'm doing is I'm just adding those hanging plants to the wall by the door, because I'm kind of obsessed with not having any empty spaces in builds like this when they are meant to look cluttered. Now we are moving on to the screenshots. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found something new that you didn't know about in this video, and that you are inspired to make your builds look more lived in. I do have a giveaway going on Twitter as well as a shell challenge, so I will link both down below so you can go and check it out. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like this video, comment and subscribe, and share any of your tips for building and making space look cluttered in the comments below, and I'll be looking forward to talking to you in the next video. Bye!